Now we'll shift our attention to today's discussion. Joining me on the program is Adetayo Adekoya, an accomplished entrepreneur and the multiple award-winning CEO of Adept Lessor Limited. With over 2 decades of experience in finance, leasing, and asset management, Tayo has positioned his company as one of the fastest-growing asset finance firms in Lagos, earning industry accolades while driving solutions for SMEs and corporates alike. Many thanks for joining us on Business Insight on Plus TV Africa.
It's my pleasure.
All right, let's just talk about the big picture and the trends that are moving the leasing and asset finance sector in Nigeria today. Can you walk us through them?
All right. Interestingly, if we put our mind on the enormous challenges in the economy, we'll lose gaze of the enormous opportunity that abound. I tell people, in the midst of chaos, abound opportunity. And leasing is a creative way of funding, of financing, and getting facility to do your business profitably. Instead of investing your capital that can actually be channeled to as a working capital, you can actually do a lease for your assets where you pay over a period of time, and the opportunity is enormous. One of the interesting things for us in this sector of the economy is, unlike the conventional banking financial service provider, the SMEs are relegated to the background, and those are the set of the people that play in our economy that we have chosen to focus on. Because if you look at data, the SMEs play a vital role. They employ manpower, they provide service, they provide products, and they do a whole lot of things. You can't take them out of the economic equation, basically.
Okay.
So that's why we focus our attention on them.
Okay, so fine. So what exactly have been your strategy in bridging financial or financing gaps, particularly for these SMEs that you have talked about? Because I know it's not really so common, and people are trying to really understand what leasing and the business is all like that. But what strategies have you actually been able to bring to the picture?
Okay, our strategy is to first educate people of what leasing is about, and to equally let them know that you don't necessarily need to go to the bank for your funding needs.
Maybe just break it down though. Listen, for people who don't really understand.
Okay, so when you hear leasing, what comes to mind a whole lot of time is you are leasing a property. But again, that's one arm of leasing. That is what we do. It's called equipment lease.
Listen, okay.
Whereby we provide finance for you to get equipment of choice, where you spread the repayment over a period of time. So equipment of choice could be vehicle you need for your business. For example, if you are setting up a bakery or you run a bakery, you need the oven. I mean, unfortunately, we have issues with our power. You need generator, you need the solar, you need lighting. I mean, when you're studio, you need cameras to make this work. Adept Lessor lease all kind of thing, medical equipment, solar equipment, heavy duty, light duty generator. I mean, all the home equipment, furniture for offices, for your homes. I mean, just to make your life easy and to make running your business less of a bother. Okay.
So from what we understand, last year, 2024, the industry grew at the rate of 23%. You know, one would have said that the economic situation, the macroeconomic situation is not really so wonderful. There were lots of headwinds like inflation and currency volatility, but then the sector was indeed able to thrive and grew by 23%. You know, how was that managed, really?
Okay, a few minutes ago, I said leasing is a creative way of financing, and it's an opportunity for you to acquire whatever assets you need to. If you permit me, SMEs struggle to get a facility from the bank.
Most of the time.
Most of the times. And the bank also felt that they are not a reliable subsector they should.
They're risky.
Because they are highly risky. Because, they are small in size. They are run by individuals of questionable character. And they also felt, if they are granted loan, if anything go wrong, they have next to nothing to hold on to. But somehow we have been able to build a close knitted relationship with these people. Most importantly, our approach is we rely more on referral. For example, if I have dealt with you and you are proved to be someone of character, there is tendency the person, your friend that you're going to introduce to us are likely going to be someone like you.
Birds of a feather.
Birds of the same feather, they flock together. So that's, in a way, make reviewing and assessing such person a bit of a less of a burden on us. Okay,
so the next question will be, what's driving the rise of non-bank lessors? You talked about banking and people not being able to access funds now. So what's driving the rise of non-bank lessors, and how do they compare to traditional banks?
Okay, so, for bank, there are enormous box to tick. For example, we also get some of our funding from banks.
Okay.
And I know how tough it is to get those approval through. But with us, we apply some level of flexibility. We get to know people by who they are and don't judge them by books. Because a whole lot of time, books don't really determine the character of an individual. So
some people don't even know how to keep the books.
Yes. So we encourage our clients, even those that don't keep books, just like you said, we encourage them to get, you don't need to get an accountant in your system. You can outsource that part of your business to an accountant, whereby they come in maybe monthly or weekly or so to check your book so that they can actually help you to put that
guide you.
But that might not be fanciful for bank, so they may not want to, because of that lapses, they may not want to really be interested in your business, so that flexibility makes us be able to, accommodate this set of people and also help them grow their business, because if they grow, the economy grow. Some small business that employ 1 or 2 persons have actually take that kind of person off the job market.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay, now we've identified the issue of funding and high cost of specifically imported assets as very key pain point. But how do you strategize? What's your firm and the industry in general doing in innovating around these constraints?
Okay, we have an association that most equipment leasing association most leasing company belongs to, which is called Equipment Leasing Association of Nigeria. They do a whole lot of collaboration with vendors, with people that we buy equipment from, and so by so doing, we have some level of leverage belonging to an association like us, Elan, and they help to connect the lessor to a vendor, and we also enjoy some kind of advantage of, because when we do this, we do a whole lot of bulk purchase from these people, so that gives us some leverage in terms of costing, get some level of discount to be able to also pass these benefits onto our client by extension.
Okay, I know you talked about getting referrals, and most of the times you deal with people who have you've dealt with some way or the other, but I know there are associated risks, specifically when in terms of financing, leasing, or even just cash back and everything, but I want to find out what measures you specifically have been able to adopt to mitigate all of this risk, like payments, defaults, fraudulent lease practices, and what would you really want, active players in the sector? What would your advice for them be?
Okay, I mean, for every 12, there always be just as,
True.
I mean, you can't rule that out. And if you run credit business, as much as you try to tie all likely loose ends, I mean, that will also be a challenge or the other. But what we've done really is, I mean, we do a whole lot of KYC on these our clients. We tag their repayment we set up a remitter, a direct debit on their accounts, and we also use a GSI, a global whereby if the particular account they give us instruction on is not funded, we can always deduct money from another of their accounts. And I mean, our risk control person do their what's it called, credit check at interval. They visit to clients to be sure they are not moving from where the addresses they've given to us, where they're filling out form. I mean, all manner of things, you know.
Okay, let's talk about some sort of a regulation and how effective they've been. I know there's an Equipment Leasing Act of 2015, and there's an ELRA rollout which has been in improving compliance and repossession processes. But how effective have all of this been in your business? Okay,
yeah, it's been helpful in a way because all leasing organizations are expected to register, which we are one of them, and we also expected to register all leases booked. So what that does for us is once, for example, if I lease this to you and it's already registered in their register, you can't use these same assets to get a lease elsewhere. So somewhere the app regulates the risk of default, and they also help identify potential defaulter or potential clients that have questionable characters. So in a way, they keep a register for all leases and all leasing company.
So that way to have issues of obligor limit and all that will be checked. And
yes, absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about that in itself is actually really wonderful, but do you really think that it is enough, or would you want further regulatory changes? Maybe you might want to recommend to strengthen, maybe some issues in the leasing industry.
Whether you like it or not, even though the ELRA, it just came in of recent.
Yes.
Equipment Leasing Act is a law passed by our former president, President Goodluck Jonathan, when he was about leaving office. And interestingly, I mean, you can imagine since he left to now, it is just of recent that ELRA is coming to force. But I mean, we are not where we used to be, so we can always just hope and expect that more will be done in that regard.
Okay, in your intro, you talked about how in your process you have been able to work with lots of young people and who have very wonderful dynamic mindset. And when you talk of young people, the place of technology actually comes to play. So how is technology helping Adept Lessor streamline your processes and enhancing client experience?
It's been fantastic. Really,
so very straight.
One, it has reduced the paperwork to next to nothing. I mean, you can be at the comfort of your home office and apply for a lease, and our bank end staff gets your documents, review it, get in touch with you if need be to find out if there is any clarification they need to make. And first and foremost, it really helps us determine if it's a lease we want to and not, because if it's something we don't want to touch, we don't want to waste our clients' time, we let them know in good time, and so that they can look for an alternative option. Okay, so which sectors or asset classes do you see as the next big opportunities for leasing in Nigeria? I mean, vehicles and commercial vehicles, motor vehicles and commercial vehicles have been the highest because for every organization, movement is key, and vehicle make it. Unfortunately for us, in our country, we don't have an effective and efficient public transport yet. So you expect that most people that want to move from one point of the city to the other still need to ride in their own vehicle, and somehow an average person needs a vehicle that is comfortable. And for you to get that, you may need to spend some good million. And if you don't want to invest such money just on vehicle, and your business is suffering for it.
Okay. Yeah. So in terms of that, since you've identified transportation, both commercial and private, or even for the corporate, so what have you done, or maybe your sector done in that particular line, maybe in terms of joining with the government, or some sort of public-private partnerships, since you have identified that people or business need to move from point A to point B?
There was a retreat we did sometime, I think 2 or 3 years ago, about government agencies that talked about assembly of vehicles in Nigeria, which apart from it reducing the overall cost of importation, it also provides employment, generates revenue for the country, because if we produce vehicles, we may not even be able to consume all vehicles we buy. It will also give us opportunity to also export maybe to other countries. So it's a conversation that is ongoing. Some of these things don't happen when we do the conversation, but it's an ongoing conversation.
So as we round off now, so what would your advice be for that particular person who wants to get into the leasing business and doesn't really know where to turn, or just feel that is it the right time? Is it the right sector with what's happening with the macro economy? What would your advice be? That's on the one hand. And secondly, what's the future in the next 5 years for the leasing business as we round off?
Okay, if you ask me, in the midst of chaos, there is great opportunities. And that is where we are currently in our nation. I travel so much in recent time. And I see what's happening in the Western world. People make it happen. So if we leave our nation thinking someone is going to come here and fix it for us, we're joking. We need to come here, to wait here, make things happen for ourselves. Population is already an advantage to us. The Chinese, the Western world, they're coming into this nation. That means there is a lot of opportunity that abounds here. So we need to sit down, work, and get things done. There is enormous opportunity around there. And if you want to get into the leasing business, my advice for you is to go for training at Equipment Leasing Association of Nigeria, and that's our umbrella body, ELAN.
Well, thank you so much, Tayo, for your time. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Tayo has indeed shared valuable insight on the state of leasing and asset finance in Nigeria. Clearly, the sector holds immense potential to drive business growth and economic development if the right policies, funding, and innovations continue to align. That's all on today's edition of Business Insights. I am Justin Akadonye. Many thanks for watching, and see you again next time.